This is exactly what we do. So today could never be any different. And how would I look like? Not delivering on the promise. So, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, as promised over the weekend and as built up as we have had it, I'm joined by a broadcasting guru, a legend of thought, a well of knowledge, a fountain of everything you can expect in the world of expression, communication, and broadcasting, and also just an all around awesome individual. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co host for the day, MsCeeY.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much, True. Thank you. And note to self, I don't pay you for that.
Don't worry, that one was on the house. That one was on the house. How are you?
I'm good. It's been good being here. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to doing so many things here.
This is so awesome. I mean, we met last week when you came to visit us.
Yeah.
And this whole place hasn't been the same since you've been here.
Oh my word.
But now with having you here, and lending your aura to us.
Wow.
It's amazing, and thank you for that. And I've got something to tell my grandchildren now about the day that MsCeeY came and co-hosted the Moment of Truth with me.
I hope it's going to be a good one. I know it's.
I believe so, and these are the things that excite us. So, South Africa is a nation of occurrences. A lot of things happen all the time. Probably one of the most newsworthy countries in the world, I'd say.
Quite interesting, though.
Because there's things that happen all the time.
I know.
And you can't really say they're all in line with each other, because we change our minds like, the weather changes in Cape Town.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's crime, there's this, there's that, there's the taxi industry, there's
the natural disasters as well. That's wreaking havoc on us.
Yes. Yeah. Just in Mdantsane, last week, actually, those flash floods they destroyed.
No,
they destroyed.
And I've taken a drive through that area. Massive destruction, and even sewage.
Oh no!
The sewage system. So probably there'll be a lot of other illnesses,
health issues,
and let's touch wood. There's no kids drowning in this flash floods, because remember last week.
Yeah,
there was a death as well.
There were several actually, and there were twins as well, young girls who, they were so close to getting home, I think, and so they just wanted to cross that little bit of, and that's when the water took them.
And also the ones that are living in these settlements that are supposed to be temporary, that is just messing things up.
I also think with these settlements, why they were temporary is because you can't in good conscience build houses at that kind of place. The proximity is bad. It's very dangerous, but they still allow people to stay there. And these are because some of them have been there for 25 years.
Exactly.
Still waiting patiently. Like, one day I'm going to get the house and my children will, have a, but the reality is it's not working as fast or as efficiently as
we could only hope that will change when we see the true face of the pain our people are still having to deal with.
This is true, and
let's hope it will speak to their consciousness. I mean, we've seen the national ministry come and visit in Tanzania, and hopefully they'll be able to do something about it, or even fast track, because we're dealing with people's lives.
Absolutely.
It's sad.
We were just in Cape Town. We did a road show, and we went to Cape Town, and one of the things that immediately caught us off guard. Well, I've been there many times, but I've never experienced the shack fire thing that happens, which is it's quite hate to say it, but it's a norm.
It's an occurrence.
It's
that happens constantly.
It's a thing. It's even there it goes. So we were coming back. I think we were coming back from Khayelitsha, and I'm driving, and I see the smoke, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look good. Plumes of black smoke, and I'm like, I think there's a fire, like a shack fire. By the time we got closer to it, you could actually feel the heat. You can feel the heat from the freeway, because right next to the freeway is where the fire was burning. But the part that struck me the worst is that fire is going to spread. So what they do is, now they know they don't attend to the fire directly. Now they create a perimeter and kind of destroy up until then, so it doesn't jump to.
Okay, so it doesn't spread.
Yes, but now they destroy other people's houses as well to kind of curtail the fact that it's going to take down this whole place if we don't actually create the space. Now, to have a system like that in place for shack fires is an assault on what is going on in the national scale. Because
also, we need to have more conscious leaders. This can't be something that we've normalized.
No.
And I really think that with them seeing this all the time, we as citizens also, we should also start, reacting different to things.
Surely.
Like this. And maybe it'll help change the situation.
Let me just turn your mic
to it. It's extremely sad. It's extremely sad what is going down. I mean, we've seen kids burn in those fires.
Yes.
The burns are horrible.
If they survive.
If they survive. But it's just sad. It's just sad that shacks is still our reality, given what we sacrificed for that not to happen.
So there's another phenomenon in Cape Town where on this side of the freeway it'll be shacks, and on this side, these amazing houses.
we actually, it makes me laugh, because this weekend I was speaking about that when you look at how the planning happened, the spatial planning in South Africa generally happened, where you had the white folk, the rich folk, you have the colored folk, the Indian folk. So you had this difference really up your face constantly. And how much of that has changed? We still see some of it. And then you see, I mean, I'm here in Melinda, I'm looking, there's houses on one side, the shacks on the other side.
Yes.
And imagine waking up hopeless and watching that.
In that situation.
Kind of situation. And I'm not sure whether this impacts directly or indirectly to the violent nature that crimes are executed when house break-ins.
Surely, because I mean, if you look across the street, that's where it is. That's where the resources are. Yes. That's where the other half live.
And that's the other side.
That's
of
the other side. Yes.
And it's a constant reminder of where you're not.
Exactly.
So.
And you look around, laterally, and you look across the street, and you see if there were any target to be identified. It's not
condoning any kind of bad
not
behavior,
at all.
But if the response to what people see,
it's knee jerk. But in the same breath, it's not all doom and gloom. But we need to do better.
We definitely
we need to do better.
We need to be more conscious.
Yes.
We need to be more kind to each other.
Yes.
Because there is just no ways that we can just turn a blind eye on this, or just pretend we don't see it because we don't live in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loza, who happens to be on leave, she's the first one to comment today. She's like, "Hello there," threw a whole bunch of hearts. How you doing, Mumfene? Hope you're resting.
Hey, Loza.
Hey, today we are doing things slightly differently. Consider it a moment of truth. Because the way we are going about it today is to actually analyze quite a few things that are important, not just to us, but I think relevant to the times that we are living in, as well as the spaces that we occupy. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be informative, and just stick around. We're gonna be doing this together all the way until 12 o'clock. No fear, no favor,
And we're having fun.
and we're having and we're having fun because that's what
Yeah.
we do. We have an amazing interview lined up with a multi-award winning, double Grammy award winning,
Drama.
amazing musician, fantastic drummer, and all around like well of knowledge.
Yeah, and also a great humanist as well.
Yes,
Great person, great personality. Also, teaching, training. I mean, that's what we do to just let the legacy flow.
yes.
And I think that's going to be an exciting one. And also considering the time difference.
Considering the time difference, he really was a sport for this one.
Yeah. Also he was in studio doing some work with a Malian artist.
Yes.
So we probably also touch a bit on that.
Yes.
And also look at what he reimagines the future in terms of what they are doing, given the situation the world is in with the COVID pandemic. And speaking about that,
yes,
it's also part of what we're going to discuss, what the figures are saying, the news over the weekend.
Oh, yes.
The weekend that was.
We definitely need to touch on that as well, because remember, this is not something that came and then went. It's still very much a part of our daily lives. It's annoying at times. It's inconvenient at other times. It's
scary.
It's scary.
It's very scary, because I said, with this pause of COVID, I think it gives us time to realize that collectively, as the globe, the world, we are always going through constant grieving.
Oh, yes.
There doesn't go a week by until you get someone tell you someone has passed on. All of that, it's just so scary. So I just think we need to, again, be conscious and sensitive towards the fact. I've got my own opinions around the anti-vaxxers and all of that.
Sure.
But bottom line, if this only impacts on you, then you've got all the right to say, I don't want to do that. But when it's going to spread,
we're talking a different ball game. It's a different ball game.
So we could just exercise being careful and know that you've got to still observe the protocols, washing hands, social distancing, all of that, which is a rarity to see now. I think some people have become totally comfortable,
and there are some who have decided to rather risk it. I don't understand that,
I mean, we're dealing with your life. I don't want to know what's it gonna do.
It's not that we know what it's going to do to you specifically, but we know what it's capable of doing.
We've seen what it can do, and it's quite sneaky as well.
Yes. And I never thought, besides the common cold, that we'd have something like this that is airborne or to surfaces in our lifetime, where you have to watch out where you touch.
I don't think any one of us saw this come in, hey?
Like, you have to watch out where you touch. You have to, like everything is okay.
You just become so neurotic, eh?
I'm telling you.
But hey, if it's going to be saving a life or saving your life or someone around you, hey, it's worth it.
I think so.
To just really try harder.
That said, what are our numbers looking like from the weekend?
I just took a squiz. If you're sitting at new cases of over 2,000, it's scary. Very, very scary. But again, we don't want to create fear here.
No,
it is just to highlight that we need to just up our caution here.
What I do like, though, if there's anything to like in this situation, is that there were reports that there are far less hospital cases now. So because people, a large part of a large portion of the population has been vaccinated. The cases, even though the spread is still flexible, the cases of people needing to go into hospitals have been very much minimized.
Yeah, and also and remember also our healthcare system would take the knock constantly.
Yeah.
When that happens, and it prevents people that have the daily issues with medical problems to actually go and do
Yes.
stuff. But also, my nephew had a baby this weekend. And,
oh, congratulations!
And they were hospitalized, but they had to go for the tests and all of that before getting into hospital. So that was also how we do things, and we don't just walk in no more.
And that isn't that scary though, to a certain extent. I mean, you're bringing a new life into the world,
that situation,
and you have to worry about extra precautions of taking care.
Yeah.
Already, that's a very fragile
little human.
And now there's all of these other things.
But fortunately, they're out of hospital, so at least they're back home. So that makes it better. Yeah, but that's the scariest part of it. It's no longer like, okay, I'm going to take my partner is going to give birth, and I'm going to be there. You got to have a test, and just very uncomfortable. Just stick that.
Oh. When that thing hits the back of your throat.
I'm just being so graphic, and it's disgusting.
When that thing hits the back of your throat, that little swab. Yeah, no, you'll know all about it.
Exactly, and you like, where are you going to with this? It's like
how far are you going? Do you need directions?
Or is there another way?
Isn't there like a blood test or something?
Something quick and less painless or uncomfortable.
I think because of its nature, though, they say that's where you get the quickest, the quickest turnover of results.
And also, you've got to wait much longer. That was the other one.
Yes, you've got to wait for bloods, because they test on totally different things. But the throat and the swab, that's the quickest. And the quicker you have your results, the quicker.
Yeah, and also because you're not presenting any symptoms or anything, when you go for your COVID test, to be able to get into hospital, you've got to wait that much longer.
Sure.
Because you're not a priority.
You're not. And if they can do anything to not have to admit you or not have to bring.
You know what my wish is? That we have just a quick test that we can do.
There is a quick test now. I don't know. I don't know if it's if it's hit our shores yet. I know that and I saw this from friends of mine in Boston who she took all her kids. I think she's got 4 kids. Took all of them. They went into this booth. Apparently, there's this booth which was set up, and it's got the little and you just do. Okay,
stunning.
Cool.
You see, those are the nice ones that are something that is less invasive.
Yes,
but gives you a true reading.
Yeah. Because you can't say, you can't do things and say, it's 85% accurate. That's not good enough.
Crack it. But get something that really reflects the correct result, but less invasive.
Yeah.
I've got a thing about my nose. You too? Don't like things stuck up there.
Like. I don't know. It's not natural.
It's not good.
It's not natural.
I kid you not. I just have nightmares just thinking. What if they just hurt you? Because that's a mucoid membrane.
Just that
where
much.
They're not supposed to go to.
Goodness. No. All right. Listen.
Oh, that's too graphic and that's horrendous. I hope y'all not eating.
Well. It's after breakfast, so you guys will be okay.
But mummies are back taking kids to school now, and they're sort of catching their breaths a bit.
Today is like the last runaround day, really, because most schools are doing their orientation tomorrow because schools officially open on Wednesday. But I think because they want to hit the ground running, they are orientating them tomorrow. But we'll be interviewing some little ones.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool.
6, 7-year-olds coming into grade 1. We've got people going back into high school, people going into high school. We've got a couple of, people who are 13, 14, just came into their teen.
It's so interesting to speak to the ones that are going back to high school.
Yes.
Remember during the COVID time?
Oh, yes.
They were doing this e-learning thing.
Yes. And tablets and all of that.
They got to go back to face-to-face stuff at school. I wonder how that transition is for them.
I have never seen so many high schoolers so excited to go back to school. I think they are so over it. You complain about something until it's not there anymore, and then you miss it. For instance, kids used to complain all the time. Class, can't we just do this from home? Be careful what you wish for, because enter COVID.
And then there's a flip side to this. One of my business associates in Johannesburg, when his son was doing all of this, and the son started talking to his dad now about, how about home learning?
Homeschooling. Wow. Okay.
So there are kids that actually love this independence, if you may.
Yes.
That this does. So bless his soul. And his dad is like, do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
So it's given kids to see another option in terms of education for them.
And I guess it takes a certain level of discipline, because that's a home-based curriculum as well. It's not like taking
and
what's
to top
done.
it off, he's a single parent, so
you see,
it's going to be hectic. And he's a business person, so to manage that time, it's going to be challenging.
And that process. But I mean, if they see value in it, and they see a possibility of a greater rate of success,
and find different ways for the kid to socialize as well, who knows?
Could work.
Who knows? Who knows? And also then, parents were complaining, why are we doing this when we've still got to pay school fees?
Yes.
So there was a whole lot of that happening. Now they get to go back.
So that's another thing, the school fees thing.
I know. That was an itchy one. It's like, and remember some of us to get that 1 month free, when you pay for 11 months or something like that, there was that discounted thing.
Sure.
If you pay up front. Could you ask them to give back your money? Because you had to do most of the job, or just 50% of it, just give
at least something. Something's gotta come back.
Or just say, okay, next year if your kid returns, we'll give you a discount.
Or a credit of some kind, because
real discount, like 50%. and because they weren't paid to take care of things. And remember, there was extra costs of data and all sorts of things. So
food. I mean, it's different.
Oh yes, and remember, the kids were running amok anyway.
Some of the there's a different level of discipline with the lunchbox kids, and because you kind of you have a scale,
and the snacks.
Yes, you have a scale of what to buy and how it's going to be used and what to pack. Now they're in the house.
Open
every 5 minutes. That fridge is opening for no particular reason, just to see what's in there,
And the appetites just grew.
Yes,
but also I guess boredom as well. Sitting around.
It's boredom. It's a repetition of
and them not being able to see their friends and
I mean, you can only play so many board games. You can only do so many puzzles
and watch so much TV
or on Netflix
content.
or whatever. You can read so many books, but when these walls start closing in on you, which they did
for all of us. Remember, also the parents had to get used to the kids being literally in their spaces 24/7.
And this new work from home thing, which the kids didn't understand yet. So if there's let's say a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting, and they just barge in there, and so and so just hit me. It's like, shh.
And you could actually watch that when you're doing the meetings.
YouTube,
where you roll your eye and you like,
it
here, stop it.
like no.
Yeah.
So YouTube has an awesome bunch of videos of like Zoom meetings gone wrong. And a lot of those a lot of those are based on just that, you know, people barging and people forgetting that they're not dressed. You know,
I know. Also, and the kids have no timing.
No.
Because also you'd find that, you know how we roll.
Yes.
Because also you're going to be given a medium close up.
Yes.
And the kid would just come, dash past you and swing your chair.
And there goes everything. Oh man, listen, it's 14 minutes now before 10 a.m. I'm with the legendary MsCeeY. She is my co-host for the day, and we're doing things our own way. That's just the way we got.
Today's our day.
Today's our day.
Yeah.
And you are there with us. Motivation, entertainment, spirituality, and current affairs, the 4 pillars that allow us to do radio according to you. Piwe Amanda Gadziba says, good morning.
Hello.
Man, listen, we are going to be having so much more conversation. We'll be speaking with the legendary Mr. Will Calhoun, multi-award winning knowledge base. He's everything. I'm going to give him a proper intro. Let me not do it now.
I think I'm going to wait for you to do that.
Yes.
Let's just wait. And I'm sure he's waiting for. We need to just check and see if he's waiting for us. Remember the time difference.
Oh yes, yes. We'll
hook him out.
We'll get him sorted out. Ladies and gentlemen, don't touch that dial.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what all the fuck is from the